On the news, DHQ blames secondary explosion for death of 10 persons in Sokoto. ECOWAS backs Nigeria, says Niger terrorism allegations unfounded. And INEC to destroy over 6 million uncollected PVCs. Many thanks for joining News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Joy Uchejim. The Defense Headquarters has blamed what it described as a secondary explosion for the death of about 10 persons following strikes in Sokoto. A few days back, the Sokoto government said 10 villagers were killed and others injured after military strikes in the Silamed local government area of the state. But the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said the deaths and injuries were due to explosions and not a direct result of the strikes. According to Buba, the military confirmed that the strikes hit the group, which is the terrorist group.
The operation was planned as a joint effort to leverage the air component precision strikes capability and the land component ability of having the boots on the ground. Now, how was this operation conducted? It started with pre-operational intelligence, surveillance, and recognition missions to confirm the terrorist activities within the general area. Thereafter, human intelligence were deployed and their reports collaborated the intelligence, surveillance, and recognition findings, emphasizing the strategic importance of neutralizing the location. Having confirmed, aircrafts were dispatched to conduct precision airstrikes on the identified hideouts at about 0600 hours on that day. The strike was executed with precision-guided munitions to minimize collateral damage. The ground forces also confirmed that the airstrikes achieved its primary objective of neutralizing the Lakurawa terrorist group's hideouts. The destruction of the key infrastructure of the terrorist groups was also confirmed, as well as the effectiveness of the strike was confirmed by the ground forces that were on site. Surviving Lakurawa terrorist groups combatants fled the area immediately after the strike, particularly as they had better knowledge or familiarity of the terrain. Others among them were neutralized. Locals confirmed that the Lakurawa terrorists stayed in the village and used the general area as a staging area for the conduct of their operations.
And the Economic of West African States, ECOWAS, has described terrorism allegations against Nigeria and other member states by the Niger Republic as unfounded, saying it is solidly behind its members. Niger Republic had accused Nigeria and other ECOWAS members of colluding with France to destabilize the country. However, ECOWAS, in a statement on Thursday, described the allegations as unfounded. ECOWAS then called on all states in the region to promote dialogue and stability and refrain from making accusations that are not supported by any evidence. The federal government had on Thursday denied Niger Republic's allegations. Meanwhile, security experts have said isolating the terrorists is the way to ensure their elimination. Speaking exclusively to TV360 Nigeria, former Assistant Director of the Department of State Services, Dennis Amakri, pointed out that the Lakurawa have been integrated into the villages for a long time and have started using the villagers as human shields, resulting in the civilian casualties.
You see, we have this Lakurawas actually living among the populace. You know, their method earlier on when they came into Nigeria was to try to even serve as a security guard for the communities there. You know, so they were living among the communities until they turned around and started attacking people, and then, of course, kidnapping for ransom. So you find out that to actually isolate and deal with these people is a very difficult issue. And that's why, you know, when they had the, before they went to do the strike, there was serious intelligence work that took place, you know, and of course, you heard the defense spokesman and what he said. You know, I think I will support what he said more than what is going on in the social media right now, because I think they know exactly what to do. This is not the first time. The first time it was a mistake. This one, I think the terrorists were using the villagers, some of them as human shield, and the attack occurred. We've still not got the total number of deaths that occurred in that strike, but we know that 10 civilians were killed. You know, so if we know the total number, we will know what actually happened there, because who they were targeting were the terrorists, and maybe the 10 that we had later must be collateral damage.
And the operatives of the Nigerian police force across the country have apprehended multiple groups of armed robbers, cultists and hoodlums targeting fun seekers and engaging in gangsterism during Christmas celebrations. The police said 23 criminals have been arrested. The force said the arrest is in furtherance of the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to command and formations to position unalloyed anti-crime strategies towards ensuring adequate safety and security during the festive period. According to the police, the suspect confessed to being a member of a notorious kidnapping gang who had been evading arrest since the arrest of other gang members on August 16, 2024, until his recent arrest on 25th December 2024. And the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says the body is considering the destruction of 6 million unclaimed permanent voter cards, PVCs. The body revealed on Friday that the move, which is currently being discussed, is in line with its policy of preventing operational inefficiencies and, most importantly, help streamline the voter management system. INEC hinted that the recommendation, which emerged from INEC's review of the 2023 general elections, produced 208 proposals, and it is aimed at improving electoral processes. According to INEC, over 6 billion PVCs remain uncollected, including many issued back as far as 2015. And like all critical sectors of the economy, Nigeria's health sector was faced with a plethora of challenges in 2024, impacting significantly on service delivery and outcomes, from the resurgence of infectious diseases to environmental health threats amid escalating cost of drugs and workers' welfare. This report by TV360's Ogechukwu Kekwe looks at how Nigeria's health sector fared in the past year.
A major challenge that continued in 2024 for Nigeria's health sector is the significant exodus of medical professionals to other countries in search of greener pastures, a situation which further widened the doctor-to-patient ratio in the country, with Nigeria falling far below the World Health Organization recommended standards. This triggered worry from lawmakers in the country who called for measures against the trend.
There has been an enormous migration of doctors, nurses, and other health workers in search of greener pasture in other countries, leaving Nigeria's health sector severely understaffed. The need to position the healthcare sector to meet numerous emerging challenges is critical to its improvement. To succeed in this era, a system that is well invested on human resource and medical intelligence as the bedrock of the healthcare sector is required.
The Nigerian government had rolled out measures to stem the exodus, one of which is the implementation of the National Policy on Health Workforce Migration, an initiative that is also expected to promote a thriving workforce that will meet citizens' healthcare needs. As the Nigerian government navigated the brain drain challenge, the country experienced several disease outbreaks just like other countries, including Lassa fever, cholera, diphtheria, and mpox, putting further strain on an already weak healthcare system. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control quickly got to work ramping up response mechanisms to manage the spread nationwide.
Cholera, as we know, remains a serious public health issue, particularly in areas with inadequate water, sanitation and hygiene systems, wash systems. And the NCDC, in collaboration with relevant stakeholders like the MDs, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Agriculture, and other partners, have been working tirelessly to mitigate the spread of these and save lives. We are particularly focusing on cross-border collaboration to prevent importation of more severe mpox variants. Coming to surveillance and diagnostic capacity, we continue to enhance surveillance across the country through active case search, and that's why we are seeing more cases. Our ports of entry, including the airports, are closely being monitored, and passengers are required to complete the health declaration forms. Additionally, we are optimizing laboratory diagnostic capacity by expanding molecular testing facilities in strategic states such as Enugu, Cross River, and Bauchi. Our partnership with the International Federation of the Red Cross has also enabled us to train 55 public health workers across 11 states to bolster our response efforts.
We're going to activate our Emergency Operations Center to focus specifically on Mpox clade 1B, the strain circulating in Central Africa, and we're going to kick off a public health campaign and start to strategize on treatment options, the issue around vaccines, and setting up a local research team that will start to preemptively understand and inform the government around policy decisions on Mpox.
Amid economic downturn, the country's healthcare sector grappled with a surge in the cost of drugs and other health essentials, further worsened by the exit of biopharma companies GlaxoSmithKline and Sanofi Adventis Limited from the country. The development, which posed a threat to public health, sparked calls for government intervention to regulate and control drug prices to ensure that life-saving treatment remains accessible to all.
Why can't we produce our own inhalers, our own antibiotics? Let me tell you how bad it is. Some people have resorted to using local herbal treatments, but the government isn't doing anything about it. You know, they're actually paying lip service. What I would expect the government to do, just to answer to your question, is to actually subsidize these drugs. When we talk about fuel subsidy, what about for health? Health is wealth. If the people are not healthy, how can you get your GDP or how can you tax those people? You know, health is quite essential, and you're not even giving so much attention to it.
Widespread insecurity in Nigeria also impacted the health sector. Attack on healthcare professionals and facilities were highlighted again following the adoption of 20 medical students from the University of Jos and Maiduguri, which sent shockwaves through the country. After several protests by the National Association of Resident Doctors, the adopted students, including Ganeyat Popola, who had been in captivity for 10 months, were released. However, the number of healthcare professionals still in abductors' den remains unknown. Nigerian doctors also faced challenges in the area of welfare. This prompted multiple strike actions in 2024, complicating most aspects of healthcare services delivery in the country. Health experts have called on the Nigerian government to address the gaps in the country's healthcare sector and prioritize improvements in 2025.
Back to the fundamentals of healthcare. Healthcare revolves around the patient. What do I do to be healthy? So if that will mean a lot the food and the environment I live in. And that's what needs to be emphasized. And that's what Nigerian government should spend the money of the Nigerian people, and not open to dictates from international agencies and foundations who keep on prescribing something that doesn't even make any common sense when we go to the basics of medicine. So I think we have to go get over this pandemic psychology here.
To ensure a healthier future, health experts are urging the government to take a comprehensive, proactive approach to strengthen the healthcare sector, focusing on infrastructure, human resources, prevention and affordability. They say this will improve the overall health outcome for Nigerians and better prepare for future health challenges. Okechukwu Kekwe, TV360, Lagos.
And in a bid to promote environmental restoration and provide sustainable livelihood alternatives for the Ogoni community, the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project has launched a quarterly sensitization initiative targeting former artisanal refiners. The program educates participants on the dangers of illegal refining while emphasizing sustainable practices and the social, economic, and environmental benefits of a clean ecosystem. The resource persons, including environmental experts and stakeholders, also highlight alternative livelihood opportunities to help curb environmental degradation caused by oil spill and hydrocarbon pollution in Ogoniland and the Niger Delta region.
This sensitization actually is up and timely. Given this Yuletide season, we feel like engaging with the ex-artisanal refiners to address issues that have to do with repollution. And we've observed seriously from our youth, and especially the ex-artisanal refiners, that there's a kind of reorientation, a redirection of focus. Youth here in Ogoni now are now beginning to think of engaging in activities that is going to be environmentally friendly. So they actually advance to issues that have to do with repollution. They are committed to the cause of high prep-ban.
We are able to see that there is a connection, a strong connection between the clean environment and socio-economic and political development, for example, because if the environment is clean, it's going to attract people to come into the place. It will also enhance a healthy lifestyle that will reduce the expenditure on medicals and all of that.
With the buy-in from the artisanal refiners, they are obviously making progress. IPREP is trying in this area, and we appreciate that.
And the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has criticized the Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission for sealing several factories in Lagos over unpaid water abstraction fees. The association described the closures as ill-timed and detrimental to the state's economy, urging Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to intervene and order the reopening of the affected factories. In a statement issued on Friday, December 27, 2024, MAN's Director General, Segun Ajayi Kadir, labeled the fees imposed on production companies as exorbitant and unjustifiable. He warned that the closures could worsen the already strained business environment in the state, calling for a more balanced approach to safeguard economic activities and maintain industrial harmony. We'll go on a short break here, but still to come, Azerbaijan Airlines Saints plane crashed due to physical and external interference. Details of this story after this break. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. The Defense Headquarters has blamed what it described as a secondary explosion for the death of about 10 persons following strikes in Sokoto. A few days back, the Sokoto government said 10 villagers were killed and others injured after military strikes in the Silame local government area of the state. But the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said the deaths and injuries were due to explosions and not a direct result of the strikes. We also informed you that the Economic of West African States, ECOWAS, has described terrorism allegations against Nigeria and other member states by the Niger Republic as unfounded, saying it is solidly behind its members. Niger Republic had accused Nigeria and other ECOWAS members of colluding with France to destabilize the country. However, ECOWAS, in a statement on Thursday, described the allegations as unfounded. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and ABO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Wabi App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the GoTo app. If you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Well, let's join Victoria Konde, who's on standby in the world of business. Victoria, what's the latest?
Well, Joy, experts have predicted that Nigeria's inflation will continue to rise in December, despite reaching 34.6% in November 2024. In an exclusive interview with TV360 Nigeria, economist Mukhtar Mohammed explained that inflation is expected to increase further due to factors such as supply chain disruptions, foreign exchange volatility, and high interest rates, among others. According to Mohammed, these challenges will contribute to a rise in inflation during the Yuletide season.
Even if the CBI are not meeting to hike it, we will see. You remember I've talked about supply chain issues, it's still there. I've talked about exchange rate, it's still there. I've talked about high interest rate, it's still there. The CBA Monetary Committee are not meeting to drive down rate. I've talked about security issues. Yeah, there's improvement here and here, but there are soft targets. And then the terrorists and bandits are having a go at soft target, and most of these soft targets are people that go to farm. Energy cost is not coming down anytime soon. Exchange rate is still high according to them. Then power also, most of the industries that in band A, they are paying more, and it's not ready to come down at the moment. So when you look at that, and then by and by the Utah season, and also now we've added another issue to it now, the issue of non-availability of cash. All these are going to have a negative impact. So definitely, if you ask me, from where I'm sitting, I think inflation will be high in this month of December.
Right now, we'll go on a short break and be back with stock market updates. Stay with us. Welcome back. After a two-day Christmas break, the Nigerian equities market resumed trading on a downbeat note, slipping by 0.05% and pushing the market capitalization to 61.92 trillion naira as investors remain cautious heading into the weekend. A total of 127 NGX listed equities participated in trading, with 45 gainers and 18 losers. Honeywell Flour Mill led the losers with a 9.09% decline, closing at 6 naira 30 kobo per share, and was followed by RT Briscoe, which ended at 2 naira 50 kobo per share. And then over 443 million volumes of shares were exchanged in 12,500 551 deals, corresponding to a market value exceeding 15 billion naira. And when this is compared to the previous trading day, which is Tuesday, the 24th of December, today's data showed a 12% increase in volume, a 112% growth in turnover, and a 50% rise in the number of deals. Now, moving straight to the global front, two of our selected equities, that is the UK's FTSE and Japan's Nikkei, ended in bullish territory in the greens, as you can see on the screen, while their counterpart, the US Dow Jones, bucked the trend, closing in the red. Now, onto the foreign exchange market, the Naira continued to fluctuate against foreign currencies, trading at 1,650 Naira to the dollar on the black market, and at 2,160 Naira to the British pound, and at 1,730 Naira to the euro on the black market. That concludes today's business and stock market update. Back to you, Joy, for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Victoria. And now on the foreign scene, an Azerbaijan Airlines Embraer 190 aircraft crashed near Aktau International Airport in Kazakhstan on December 25, 2024, claiming 38 lives out of the 67 passengers and crew on board. The airlines has attributed the crash to physical and technical external interference, with initial investigations pointing to the possibility of a Russian air defense missile mistakenly striking the plane. The incident occurred against the backdrop of heightened regional tensions, with reports of Ukrainian drone activity in the area at the time. In response, Azerbaijan Airlines has temporarily suspended flights to certain Russian cities as authorities investigate the cause of the crash. And still on the foreign scene, South Korea's parliament has voted to impeach acting President Han Duck-soo, who assumed the role after President Yoon Suk-yeol was impeached 2 weeks prior. The impeachment motion against Han was filed after he blocked the appointment of 3 judges chosen by Parliament to oversee Yeol's case, leading to accusations of stalling the impeachment process. The Constitutional Court now has 180 days to rule on whether to uphold Han's impeachment. And on sports, Union Berlin have sacked head coach Bo Svensson after only 6 months at the helm, the Bundesliga club announced on Friday. The 45-year-old Dane took over in July after Union narrowly avoided relegation last season, but he was fired with the club sitting 12th in the German top flight, 7 points clear of the relegation playoff place. And Barcelona star winger Lamine Yamal has vowed to come back better after injuring his right ankle earlier this month during a La Liga match. The 17-year-old, a key member of Spain's Euro 2024 winning side, hurt his ankle in a challenge during Barcelona's 1-0 loss at home to Leganés on December 15th. The club estimated at the time that Yamal will be out for up to 4 weeks. Yamal has been an important player for Barcelona this season, registering 6 goals and 12 assists in 20 appearances. And that's our bulletin on News Now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Joy Ocheje. See you next time.